Today's tutorial will run us through how to log in to training.setsolutions.com.au, which is the portal where you'll be able to download your workbooks, complete your workbooks, and then submit them through the portal back to your trainer for marking. What you'll need to do is you'll need to open up your web browser. So if you're at Set Solutions at the moment, you'll be able to go onto Internet Explorer. If you're at home, you may have another web browser. For the purpose of today, I'm using Safari, but you can use any web browser and it will work just the same. Open your web browser and go to the URL bar and type in training.setsolutions.com.au. Once you've typed in training.setsolutions.com.au, hit enter and it should take you to this page here, which is the login portal homepage to log in to the portal. Your username and password is where is what you'll need to type into these two text fields here. They will be provided to you by your trainer or from another staff member from Set Solutions. Your username should be your surname or a few letters from your surname and possibly a number. Your password will be random letters and numbers, uppercase, lowercase, that will be provided to you from Set Solutions. Now, the password field is case sensitive, so if there are capitals and lowercase letters in the password provided to you by your trainer, you will need to type capitals into the password field. So go ahead and type in your username and your password here and here. And once you've typed those, hit sign in. Now, just as a side note, if you have forgotten your password, you can come to just training.setsolutions.com.au to this page and click here to have your login details sent to you as it says there. Now, it will send it to an email address that you have provided Set Solutions, most likely through your enrollment process. So if you have forgotten your password throughout your course, that is a way that you can retrieve it. Once you've typed in your username and password, hit sign in, and it should bring you to a page that is that asks you some terms and conditions. So initially they'll ask you terms and conditions that you'll need to accept to proceed. Once you've accepted the terms and conditions, it will allow you to choose an avatar, which is a little picture or a caricature that represents you on the training website. And for the time being, just skip through that. Don't bother choosing a picture. You can always go back and choose a picture at a later date. For now, just hit choose later. And once you've chosen choose later, it will bring you to this page here. So it'll say my home page. It'll say any classes that you've got coming up. But what we'll first show you how to do is how to change your password. Now, it's going to be difficult to remember those random letters and numbers, so we want to create something that you will remember throughout the course. Go up to the top right hand corner and you'll see a picture of your avatar. Now, if you haven't chosen one yet, which you shouldn't have, you'll see a little grey man. If you have chosen a picture, it'll be whichever picture you have chosen up here in the right hand corner. Click on your avatar and it will bring you to a My Profile page, such as this. The third tab across, it will say Password. Go ahead and click that, and this is where it will allow you to change your password. So you type in your current password here, which is your default that was provided to you from Set Solutions. So go ahead and type that in, and then choose a new password below. So you'll need to type it in obviously twice to confirm that it's the same across both fields. There are no restrictions in terms of what passwords you can choose. It can be as many letters or numbers as you wish. It does not have to be uppercase and lowercase. You can choose literally any password. Once you have typed your password into here and also here, and they're the same and they're matching, go ahead and click change password, and that will have changed your password. This tutorial will run through how to access your workbooks and also how to save them and how to work with them. Now, you would have logged into training.setsolutions.com.au after following through our last tutorial. What you want to do now is find your workbook. So every unit of work that you are enrolled in throughout your course will be represented by 10 digits here. So they'll be made up of letters and numbers, and basically what that is are the unit codes for your subjects that make up your entire course. Now on your right hand side of the screen you should see a section that says My Courses. My Courses will show you every unit that makes up the course that you enrolled in with Set Solutions. And there should be around 10 to 15 on here, depending on the course that you're enrolled in, possibly less. But everything you're enrolled in should be represented here on the right hand side. Each one of these links will take you to a workbook, and every unit you're required to download a workbook, complete the questions and answers and any other projects that may be within it, and then go back to submit it. Once you've submitted all your books and they've all been marked by the trainer is when you're deemed competent and passed the course. Your page should have a bunch of units over here, so I'll get you to have a look over there. For the purpose of this exercise, we may be showing different units, but I'll just get you to click on the first unit that's available to you on the right hand side, just so we can run through how to access your workbooks. So for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to go click on BSB CMM 401A, as you can see here, my first unit, but your trainer will let you know which unit you need to click into first. For the purpose of this exercise, click on your first available one. Now it should bring you to a landing page similar to this. What it will say for you as a first time opening the workbook, it will say Get Started on the left hand side here under Course Outline. So go ahead and click Get Started. The page that comes up now is a set of instructions. First, what it will say is the unit code that you just clicked on, and also the longer title for it. So in this case, BSB CMM 401A is the subject Make a Presentation. There are some instructions here on how to download your workbook, but I'll run through how to do that in this tutorial and also how to submit it in a further tutorial. Now to download your workbook for the first time, I'll get you to just scroll down a little bit on the page and you will see here a button or a link that says Download Assignment Document. So to download your workbook, it will download onto your computer and then you will work off that saved file, PDF document, and then upload that at a later date. Let's go through downloading it first. So to download it, you click on this link where it says Download Assignment Document. A little box should pop up on your computer if you are working off a Set Solutions computer that says Open, Save or Cancel. So just go ahead and click Save. Now the file should have downloaded. If it hasn't downloaded, it should only take a couple of seconds, and automatically it will download to the Downloads folder. What I would do first is you will have an option to open that file, open the folder, or view the downloads. Go ahead and click Open Folder. Open Folder will open a window that shows you where your file is located. So at the moment, it's located in the network, in my Downloads folder, and you can see up the top here which folder it's downloaded in. Important to note, to work off the computer, alright, do not save this document to a USB and work directly off the USB. The reason for this is it's far more secure to work off the desktop of your computer, or through the Downloads folder for that matter, rather than off your USB. If the internet disconnects and you're working directly off your USB, there is a chance that the file could corrupt during saving, especially if there's faulty USBs, or even if the connection is not solid from the computer to the USB. Just to be safe, work off the desktop of the computer, okay? Or on the computer itself. Then at the end of the day, save a backup to your USB, email it to yourself as well, and that way you have constant backups, how to use your files, and you'll never lose any data or corrupt any data. So go ahead now and open that file that we just downloaded. And this is the workbook. Now it will open in Adobe Acrobat Reader, and this is what you do all your work in. This tutorial will go through how to work through and work with your workbooks before you can submit them to your trainer for marking. Now, first thing you'll need to do is to open up your workbook. If it's not already open, ensure that it is opening from your computer. Okay, so here it's opening from my downloads folder where I initially downloaded the file to. If you're on a second day, you've saved it, you've backed it up to your USB, and you're coming back to continue working, and the file is in your USB, drag the file from your USB onto your desktop of your Set Solutions trainee computer, and then work off it from the desktop. At the end of the day, when you're ready to back it up again, copy it back from your desktop, back to your USB, send it to yourself on email, and continue this habit because it is far more secure and there is no chance you can lose any work if you're working directly off the desktop or off the actual Set Solutions trainee laptop. When you work directly off the USB, there is a chance that if something goes wrong with the connection between your USB and your computer while you're working on the file, that you could use data. So make it a good practice to save it from your computer to your USB at the end of the day, and the next day when you're working on your file, bring it back from your USB back onto the desktop, work off that file, save it, and at the end of the day put it back and also email it to yourself. I'm going to go ahead and open my workbook that I'm currently working on. Now it should open in Acrobat Reader, Adobe Acrobat Reader. If you've never used Adobe Acrobat Reader before, it's very simple. It's essentially a PDF reader. Now our workbooks have editable. Basically what that means is you'll be able to type in to the fields inside the workbook where you need to write answers. I'm going to go ahead and minimize the screen as you just saw. And if you need to make your screen bigger and smaller, you can use the plus and the minus buttons here up the top in the toolbar, just so we can see a whole page at once. Now, as you can see on the first page, you've got the title of your workbook and also a space for you to put your name. Now, anywhere you're able to type in these books will be shown by a blue field similar to this. To type in a field, you literally click on the blue area and type. I'll get you to all go ahead and type in your student name, so your name, into that field, and it should stay there. Now do make it a habit to continually save. So you can do that by pressing Control and S as a shortcut. Otherwise, go ahead and hit this floppy disk up here, which is Save File. Now the first time you're saving the file, it will ask you where you want to save it. As I mentioned before, do save it on the desktop or in the Downloads folder or in the Documents folder, somewhere where you will remember where you're working off. So I'm going to go ahead and save it in the Downloads folder over the top of the other one that we initially downloaded by hitting Save, and it's asking me if I want to replace that file, which I do. Okay, now the quickest way to scroll through pages in this workbook is by using the arrows up the top. Alright, so here if you know the page number you want to go to, you can type it in there and it will take you straight there. Otherwise, just use the up and the down arrow as your quickest way to scroll through. So I'm going to scroll through a few pages till we get to about page 10 or 11. And I'll get you to do the same with me. Now, it's page 11 on this book. It may be a different page on the book that you downloaded because I understand we may be working on different books. But you should get to a page around that 10 or 11 that's called Student Assessment Declaration. You'll need to complete this in every book that you do, and it's around that page 10 or 11 in every book. Basically what it's saying is that you acknowledge that the work is your own and that you understand how the assessment processes work. I'll get you to have a read through that on your own books before you tick them, but they're quite generic statements. To tick these boxes, all you do is click into the blue boxes and a tick should appear. So go ahead and do that for all your books that you work on. And again, type in your name. Anywhere that it designates for you to sign, so here it says student signature, just ignore that. Anywhere it's asking a student signature throughout the book, just ignore. You will not need to sign anywhere, physically or digitally, on these books. That is taken care of with a one signature at the end of a unit, which we'll go through in a later tutorial. But this is how your page should look. Tick all the boxes and write your name. This tutorial will explain how to work through your workbooks ready for submission. As you can see here on my screen, I have my workbook open. If you haven't got yours open, go ahead and open it. Every workbook is made up of 3 modes. Mode 1 is your standard questions and answers. Mode 2 is normally made up of a project, whether it being an individual project or a group assignment. And mode 3 is assessor observation. So that's where your trainer observes how you work in class with others, etc., and puts that into an assessment practice. As a student, you'll only need to complete mode 1 and 2. And let's go through how you do that. So I'll get you all to scroll down until we hit mode 1. And it should be around page 12 or so in your workbooks, but it may be varying depending on the workbook that you're in. But your page should look similar to this. It should say mode 1, or mode 1 question and answer, and then it will run through questions and have a field there where you can type your answers into. To type in, similar to how we've done in previous tutorials, you click into the blue box, type your answer, whatever your answer may be, and then it will stay there. And obviously, save. And we want to keep that practice that we're consistently saving onto the desktop itself or the downloads folder, and then backing up to the USB and the email at the end of the day. So we'll go through and type in answers for all our questions. I'm not going to go through all of them, as you will have to, but it gives you an idea of how to type your answers in. So you click in the blue box, write your answer, and save. Essentially, that is mode 1. You'll have a series of different questions, but that is the entirety of mode 1, and it will always be like that. Mode 2, as you can see on the page now, is either a project or an activity. Now normally in mode 2 you might have 1 page or 2 pages of explanation or instructions on what the assignment is about, whether it's a group project or individual project, but again, seek further clarification from your trainer on every unit and every project. But it will look something like this. So go ahead and have a read in your books when you're up to it, and you'll know exactly what you have to do. Now normally these projects are completed on Word or Excel, perhaps PowerPoint. It's varying between units. So again, seek clarification from the instructions and your trainer. But how do we get those Word documents and Excel documents to your trainer? Now normally if this was a paper-based course, you would just print them out and staple them. Essentially that's what we're going to do, except we're going to be doing it digitally, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. And it's called attaching files, similar to how you attach a file in an email. Every file that you attach, every supplementary document that you attach, should be attached on this page. The page is called Work Sample Supplementary, and it's normally straight after the instructions in Mode 2. As you can see on here on the screen, in this unit, we need to attach 1A, which is a PowerPoint presentation, and 1B is a presentation. They're the 2 files we need to attach to be deemed competent. If there are further files that you need to attach, your trainer will let you know, or if there are less files that you need to attach, trainer will let you know also. Now, how you attach a file is on your screen. Come to this page, and in the top right hand corner there should be a button on your toolbar that says comment. Click on comment and it will bring up a toolbar. Under annotations you'll see here the fourth one across is a little paper clip, which is a symbol for attaching a file. So to attach a file, you click on the paper clip. If you bring your mouse back over the screen, you'll see the cursor would have changed to either a paper clip or a little pin. Move the cursor over next to where you want to attach your file, and wherever you click is where your file will attach. So at the moment, I want to attach my PowerPoint presentation, so I'll get my cursor and go and click here next to PowerPoint presentation to attach it. It will open up a window where I can browse my computer for a file of my PowerPoint presentation that you've previously created. Now, for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to choose any file. So I'm going to choose this file here, pretending that it is that PowerPoint presentation. So we choose that file and hit open. Once you hit open, it will allow you to choose an image for your attachment. So by default, it will be a paper clip, but you can change it to a pin if you wish, or a paper clip. It doesn't really matter, it's your preference. And hit OK. Now you can see it here on the screen, our little pin. And that is our attachment that we just selected. So whatever file you choose will now be attached on that pin. To open the document, you can hover over it and you can see what the file is called. So here I've attached the SET Solutions Student and Employer Handbook, but you would have attached a PowerPoint presentation, for example, or whatever the requirement was. To open it, you can literally double click on it and it will open the file. If you accidentally attach the wrong file, you can highlight it until it's flashing blue and hit the delete key on your keyboard, and it will delete it off the screen. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to attach it back. So that's it there. Once we've attached it, we'll go ahead and click yes, we have attached it, just so your trainer knows. Now the second one, we need to attach a file there, so I'm going to go ahead and attach my presentation, which I'm going to pretend is this file here. Again, press OK, and that's there on the screen. So we've attached our two files, we click yes, and there are our two files there, attached and ready to go. So when a trainer receives your workbook, they can come to this page and they can see all your attachments on this page, and he can open it or she can open it and view it to give you your mark. That's it for attaching files. It's pretty simple, but it's quite crucial that you do attach them, and attach them on this page so your trainer knows where to find them. Again, save your work to ensure that those attachments are embedded within this PDF. But that's all you'll need to do for your workbooks. So mode 1, question and answers. Mode 2 is supplementary documents such as a project or an assignment. Once you've done those two modes, mode 3, the trainer looks after, and it's not something that a student needs to touch. Once you've attached everything, once you've finished all your work, you're happy with it, hit save, and the next tutorial will go through how to upload that and submit your assignment to your trainer. Thank you. This tutorial is going to run through how to submit your work to your trainer, ready for marking. Now, we've reached a point where we've finished our workbooks, we've filled in all the answers in mode 1, we've attached all the files that we need to attach in mode 2 to this page, and it's really important they're attached to this page. And now we're ready to submit it to our trainer. So just run through another double check of your book. Make sure you've written your name on the front of the book. There. Make sure that on page 10 or 11, we've ticked our student declaration. Make sure you've written all your answers and you're happy with all your answers throughout mode 1. And you've attached all the files you need to attach within mode 2 under your work sample supplementary documents page. If we're happy with it all, we obviously save our document to our desktop, onto our computer, and get ready for submission. Now, to submit a workbook, you do have to go back to training.setsolutions.com.au. So I'm going to go ahead and close this workbook because we're finished with it now. and come to training.zsolutions.com.au. Now if you're not there, open up your web browser, Internet Explorer or other web browser and go to training.zsolutions.com.au and it should bring you to the login page. Using your login details that you created earlier on, you will sign in to your portal where you'll have a chance to submit your work. Now it's really important if you're wanting to submit a workbook of a particular name that you submit it under the correct unit code. Okay, so all the units that you're enrolled in, of course, are here on your right hand side. So if you want to submit the workbook for BSB WRK 411A, that you click into BSB WRK 411A. So let's go ahead and do that. We again click into here to view our workbook and it will bring us to that information page once again. Okay, so to upload your workbook, there are instructions here on how to upload it correctly, but I'll run it through with you. We've already downloaded our assignment document, we've worked on it, we've finished it. To upload it, scroll further down on the page and you'll see here in this section where it says add document for assignment. First thing is it's going to ask us to give it a title. Now this is purely for yourselves and for the trainer, so this is viewable to you forever and also your trainer. So name it something that makes sense. So for this example, we're going to use our first name, our surname, the unit code that it is, so this one is BSB WRK 411A, and workbook. That way when your trainer receives the file, they'll be able to see who it's from and what unit it's for. So that's your title. You then need to upload your file. So you'll need to browse for your file by clicking the button below and it will open up a chance for you to find your file on your computer. Now your file should be saved in your downloads folder or on your desktop, wherever you're working off, but do not upload it directly from your USB. Like everything else, if you're ready to upload it, save it to the desktop, upload it from there, just to be safe. So for this example, I'm going to choose this workbook, pretending it's the correct one, but make sure you do click the correct workbook for the right unit. So I'm going to go ahead here and choose open to select that file for submission. Once we're sure that that's the file we want to submit, we go ahead and press upload. By hitting upload, that will submit that file, that workbook, with all the documents that you've attached within it on the mode 2, and it will upload it onto the system. Now do note that it may take 30 seconds to a minute to upload, and some of the files can be quite large depending on what attachments you've saved, but just wait for them. Once it's uploaded, it will refresh the page, and if you scroll down, you will see here with the title that you typed in, your file. Now please note that that is not yet submitted to your trainer, so that actually has not gone through to the trainer. You do still need to press submit. So if you scroll further down, once you've uploaded a file, a new section will open up that says submit assignment. Here you can write any comment you want to leave. If you've worked in a group assignment, for example within your document, this is a good spot to write who you worked with. So I'm going to go ahead and write group assignment worked with student A, B, and C. Spelling mistake. You will need to click a declaration box. Right, and again, that declares that the work is your own, etc., etc. And then to submit it, finally, you hit submit assignment. Once you hit submit assignment, again, it may take 10 to 20 seconds to load. Once that's loaded, your assignment will have been submitted, and your trainer, whoever they are, will be able to see your work and mark it. Once a trainer marks your work, you should receive an email that says whether you've been deemed competent, or if you need to fix something up, it'll tell you that you need to fix something up. In the case that you do need to fix up an assignment, or you've made an error in one of the questions and it needs to be fixed before they can pass you, you will be able to come back to that page for that workbook, and you'll be able to download the document that the trainer has sent back with little comments in there to tell you what you need to fix. But in that case, do communicate with your trainer and they'll explain to you what you need to resubmit more clearly. That's it for submitting assignments. We'll see you in the next tutorial.